What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 17 different altcoins today. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it. I don't want to spend too much time on the introduction, so let's get going. Here's the list. I'm going to go over it verbally. It will be left in the description below as well. Hopefully I'll have time to leave timestamps. I think I will, but TAO for Flower Child, SPA for J-Bear into House, PONKE, PONKE, and MOG, MOG for Flower Child as well, MYRO and PNG for Jeff, PAJAMAS for Rex, THETA and ILV for Madeira SVK, Andy and Wolf for Bryant James or Brian T. James, ZKML for Marcos Izquierdo, Zcash versus Bitcoin for Smooth Operator, PEPE 2.0 for Indian Kitchen Master, AERO for Chris Cohen, USEDCAR for Jordan Bailey, and Cardano for Mike Dixon to finish it up. So that's the list. One last time, hit that like button. Let's get going. So first and foremost, TAO from a top to a bottom here. We have pulled up above the 618. Nice. Interacted with it, consolidated just below it here. Nice. And made short work of it. This is a really nice look. Yeah, you know, you're in a position of strength here. You could fall a little bit more and still look really good. That'd be a classic kind of look when doing this maneuver to the 786 back down and then up. On the other end of that, you know, you could hold support right here and absolutely continue to move up. But either way, I think you've got higher targets in mind. Even if you do move down for the short term, I think you've got $458, $600 or more on the brain. Absolutely, I do. Let's see. I like the, you know, a lot of volume here on this like all-time low, right? And I'm pretty, yeah, that was your all-time low. Not a whole lot of historical data, to be fair, to go completely off of, but you are at a low point in your RSI. That is the lowest point you've ever been in your RSI. I don't know, man. I like that bounce. I gotta say. And there's no bullish divergence or anything, but the weekly RSI, it's rather neutral with a bearish kind of shape to it. I'd like to see how this develops, but I'm at the point where I believe that you have found your low and that you are moving higher. Finally, this thing has found its low, right, since inception. And this is Tau USDT perpetual contract on Bybit. It was the only one that I could find that had like the most historical data. I couldn't find, oh, I guess MEXC has one even better. So never mind to that. Low to high here, 382, yeah, man. That makes sense as well to hold this support like that, the way that it looks. And then just from this overall high to low there, smoking that 618 still. So yeah, I think you are going to move up higher. Not an all-time low. Sorry, I'm mistaken. All-time low for that previous chart, but not for this chart. And really, yeah, you're probably on your way up above $420. Ultimate stop is going to be about $635, and once you break that, you're going to $1,100, $2,000, something like that. You're at $283, and absolutely, I think you can go higher. So, yeah, I think that's just your stopping point from your last move up. That's all it is. Very powerful move up, stopping at the 382. Oops, right here, back here at this low. Stopping at the 382, very normal thing to do. So moving up higher, that's TAO. SPA is the next one. I feel like I went over that, spent too much time on that last one. SPA, USD, Sperax, I don't know. Weekly RSI looks sad, but not terrible. I want to look at this thing on the daily. Kind of got that double bottom look, some bullish divergence going on. Yeah. Low to high. I don't mind it as long as you get above the 618, but what you're doing right now does not encourage me. What you don't want to do is get below this line. You do want to get above this line. So until then, I'm undecided. I would suppose I lean toward the idea of you moving down, though moving down doesn't mean you have to break down, right? You could even pierce this line and then come back up and close above it the same day. That's okay. But I would think closing below this line would condemn you down to about half a cent or less. 0.003869 with the lower end of that target. Absolutely, that's what it's looking like right now. So at this point in time, I would believe that you move down. I'm not completely convinced that you break this line, but if you do, that's what it would look like. I don't really believe that you'll break out either. I'm undecided. So very neutral until you break either this area here or this area here. Maybe let's wait on it to get a kind of better idea. Because, yeah, nothing Nothing about it tells me that it wants to go up right now, today. But maybe, you know, when you're down here and you work your way kind of back up, maybe then there is some things pointing toward the idea that you move up higher. I don't know. But right now, again, just the general idea. Get above, you want to get above about 0.007788. 0.007788. You want to get above there. Any day that closes above there, not just getting above there, but closing above there is what you really want to do. And then what you don't want to do is close below 0.006457. That's what you don't want to do. So again, going below there is okay, but closing below there is not. So kind of an unusual form of analysis in my opinion. But I don't suppose it's really worth going over targets until we have a predetermined heading. So right now I don't know if it's up or down. It really could be either. Flip a coin. And ultimately, because it's crypto, I'm sure it goes up. But as of right now, all the indicators are suggesting to me that it goes down. Doesn't mean that it has to break this line. I'm repeating myself. Let's move on. PONKE. PONKE. Yeah. Bearish divergence fulfilled, seen. You actually have hidden bullish divergence is what you have. Looking very bullish indeed. Might have a winner. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's look at the daily here. I like that. You're wrestling with the 123 moving average here. You know, I've seen this so many times. This little like wedge, and you come up, you form your little triangle, and then you dip. I've seen this exact thing. Just to show you I'm not making this up, literally the total market cap even, I bet, has this exact thing. Kind of right there. But this time it went up, right? You had your wedge, you went up, and then you had your little triangle, but this time you went up instead of down. But like this, right? Little consolidation phase, you went up and then down. Consolidation phase here, you went up, had your little triangle up here, whatever, and then you went down. Am I making this up? Do people see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, man. Anyways. PONKE. Definitely, probably, I like the idea of saying that it's going to move higher. I don't like the RSI. Again, looking at the weekly, that's what gave me the hopes that it would move higher. But looking at the daily RSI, that kind of makes me eat my words a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he went lower, but at the same time, now hold on. A bounce from this area wouldn't be totally uncalled for either. And in fact, if we go back to the RSI and we put a low right here at this low point here, you found support here for a brief period, resistance here for a brief period, support here as well. Somewhat of a likely area to find support, potentially right around that 40 area as well, rejecting right around the 50, coming down to the 40. Common thing enough to do. From a low to a high point, you're just above your 382. I would expect, with a move like this, I would expect that you at least do hit that 382 at 33.14 cents. Find support there, and then move up. So you're very close. I mean, I would think you go just a little bit further down, just a little bit, and that's okay. And then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the 4 hour would suggest you go lower too. So let's wait for that. A little bit more to the downside and then up. And if you do go below the 382, which is at 33.14 cents, maybe you go down to 28.27 cents or even a little bit lower than that, maybe. But I like the idea of you holding this area here. That's my personal assumption. And as long as your closing days above 29.33 cents, I don't have a problem with you. All right, so that's PONKE. Next one is MOG, USD. Let's see, on this one maybe. MOG coin. In a bit of a downtrend on its daily RSI. Yes, very well pronounced downtrend there. Rejecting your 50. Whoop. Rejecting your 50 area. I can't help but think you go lower. I don't think you go lower than this. I don't think so. But I do think you go lower than this daily red close here, right here. That, right there, the red candle with the big wick, I think you go lower than that daily close, this line right here. That's what I think. And not only do you go below there, but I think you close a day below there. And that will likely mark the end of this down move, right? It'll be your higher high or higher low. And then you'll look to break out of your RSI downtrend that you're in, probably. And whether that comes with bullish divergence or not, I don't think you need bullish divergence, but likely if you close below here, as long as you're not closing below here, I would assume that you would have some form of bullish divergence. So let's check in on this maybe in a week or so. But I would think, yeah, I mean, at least at a minimum, 5 zeros, 1, 2, 2, 5, 3, 5 is where you're going to go. If not, more likely, in my opinion, I genuinely do think you're probably going to hit that 618 at 5 zeros 1, essentially right on the money there. Even a little bit below there. Psychological level, just perfect, right? 5 zeros 1. Anyways, down and then up. Probably up in a spectacular sense, right? Like to new all-time highs. That'd be my thoughts, like inevitably up higher. But first, 5 zeros 1. Let's see how you do with that area. And then we can talk about, you know, going up to 5 zeros 5 or shedding a 0 even, right? Potentially, yeah. Anyways, that's MOG. Down, a little bit of downside. I want to look at it a little bit more clear. Yeah, the daily RSI just says it all, man. 4 hour looks at 2. So yeah, definitely down around that 5 zeros 1 area is what I like, is what makes sense to me. MYRO. On a weekly here, maybe not on, that might be the most data that we have, huh? In which case we will use it. I don't like charts that look like this. It's so weird. Low to high. Yeah, the way that you look, the way that this looks to me, would look like it is going down to its 61869 area. Just the way that it's looking, like this kind of constructiveness to the downside, you normally find significance here. But the fact that you bounce off your 0.5 does give you a little opportunity, I should say, to move higher. Depends. You know, if you can get above 18.214 cents, then I suppose you have it, right? If you get above this red line, I think that that's a low and you probably are moving higher, right? And that might be obvious for multiple reasons, both on a fib perspective, but also if you're drawing kind of a straight line down, having this resistance trend line. I mean, if you get above this, you're going to be above this. You're going to be in the middle of a breakout move from your bull flag here, which could be what you're in. It could be. Generally, you move up, right? You have a corrective move. It's 1, 2, 3 legs down. Hey, looks like it had its third leg to me. I mean, maybe it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged path. I don't know. Let's see. Generally, again, I would call for you to move down here, but I don't feel comfortable enough for that just yet. Weekly RSI doesn't look the best, but you're at an area, holding an area that looks good to hold. Daily RSI looks beaten down and weak, to be completely fair. Oh, maybe I'm wrong in my sympathies toward this thing. Maybe it does have lower to go. All right, yeah. I'm sticking with the fibs. I'm sticking with the going against the gut instinct, which my gut instinct tells me you will hold support here and then move up. But the charts, and this is why we trade the charts and not our feelings. Everything about the chart says you're going lower. And if you're going even just like back down, I don't think you're going to hold this 0.5 again. I would think there's no reason why you wouldn't go to your 61869. So 4.2685 cents to 3.2472 cents is where you're going to go, somewhere in that golden ratio zone. I very much think that not only will you go there, but you'll probably find support right there, and that will be the end of this down move. And then you're going to move on to riches and glory. But for the time being, down. Yes, you have a little bit of downside to go. I would assume the rest of this month might not be good for MYRO. Just speaking plainly there. PNG. This is one I think I have hopes for, right? To be fair, though, the weekly RSI looks disgusting. It's terrible. It's not the best looking. Wouldn't be crazy if it went lower, but lower than its current price does not mean lower than this low, just to be fair. And if we look at that low, if we analyze that low, it comes in right at this previous high. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. To put it in the least amount of words possible, it's definitely a beautiful thing, right, that you did right there. Finding support at a previous area of resistance, an all-time high nonetheless, and holding it, very steadily holding it, rejecting that area and moving back up. That's a nice thing that you did there. I don't like where you are in your RSI, but you know, as unconventional as it might be, and it would be if you just bounced out from here, it can happen. Unconventional does not mean impossible. It's just not what you would normally expect. But again, I mean, hey, looking at this from your relative low here to your relative high, you are at the golden ratio of this last move. If we're looking at the overall move as a whole from a low point to a high point, you're right at your 382. Classic area to find support on, especially amidst powerful moves, which this was. It's hard to call for prices lower than this, because just based off this, if you were to go lower, then you'd probably come all the way down here. Likely you wouldn't. I mean, that'd just be the fib area, but likely you'd probably hold support around this 0.5, just above it or just below it. But to me, it just makes the most sense that you would hold this as support. The only thing that doesn't is the RSI, but who cares? That's why we use multiple things, right? The daily RSI is beaten down. Bearish, absolutely it is. You need to start moving higher, man. You need to, because if you go down here, again, if you go back down to this area, that's okay. If you form a higher low, that's okay. But if you break this low, you're probably going to go a decent bit lower, right? Like returning down here, that's already at 15.7 cents. You're at 24 cents now. Instead of dropping to 15.4 cents, you could drop all the way down to 12 cents. Or potentially all the way down to 7.4 cents, you know, if this low doesn't hold again. So it's not that you can't go down from here. You can, and I kind of think you will. You just don't want to break this low. And really what you want to do is just start moving up as soon as possible so that that fear goes away. And this looks exactly like what I think it is, which is a very bullish bottom. But you can find your bottom and consolidate for some time afterwards and then move up, right? You don't have to just move all the way up right now. So that's what I'm going to call for. Weekly RSI looks like it wants to go lower. I think it's going to get that. I think the weeks will close lower than this week here. I don't think you're going to see prices below here, though. So you're going to spend some time in this box, probably on the upper half of this box, probably not the lower half of this box, but you're probably going to spend some time in that box for a little bit. Maybe at least the next week or two, maybe even 3, maybe all of August, really, pangolin, unfortunately. Back to 18.5, 18.4, 19.2 cents, somewhere in that area. Wouldn't be crazy at all. At least back to 21.6. That's what I'm calling for pangolin. Yeah, I think so. Wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was a little bit more bullish. And I think it is. Over time, I think it is. You know, being at a low here, very significant low, I think that's saying something. But you might be boring for the time being. So that's that. Pajamas. I love me some pajamas, man. Jesus, how's Jesus coin doing? I haven't actually checked. I want to see. This is a coin that I hold personally. For anybody who's curious, it went up a little bit yesterday. Okay, cool. Up after all this downside, and right after all this downside, right? We're at the lower end still, though. 26% weak last week. Nice on the green side. Anyways, we're talking about pajamas. 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 I wonder how they say pajamas in Spanish. Like, would it be pajamas? That doesn't make any... You know what? Pajamas in Espanol. I don't have the enye. Pijama. Pijama. It's not pijama, right? It'd be... Or is it pijama? I would think.
Pijama.
Pijama. Pijama. Pijama. Okay. Thank you, Google. Anyways... We're going to talk about some pajamas. Little gatito pajamas. 0.008246. Its current price right now. Chilling, finding resistance at the 123 daily moving average, an area that I would assume doesn't exist back here, but just looking at it, you know, if it did, you kind of found support at it too. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't exist back here, so it could just, you know, who knows. That's probably not. It was probably closer the first time. But anyways, guys, daily RSI is looking like crap. Looking like it wants to move lower. I did sell half of my pajamas for some Jason Derulo coin. Let's actually look at that now because that was a horrible idea. Oh my goodness. Good thing it's just a small amount of money that we have involved in these. But Jason, not on the docket. We're just looking at it. I bought, oh hey, it's up today, 16%. That's nice. But I bought this day. So we got some work to do. Anyways, I still think it's a good one to get into, especially now, but pajamas, that's the main point. Pajamas here probably does move lower. I think it does. Looking at the daily RSI, I think it does. You're crowding the 618, so good news. You're probably going to hold the 786, 886 area. You wick down here, I think that's a tell. That's giving a little bit of information saying, hey, this 786 might be what you mess with. Maybe, in fact, you go a little bit lower, reach for that 886 zone down there. Who knows? But I feel very comfortable saying that pajamas is going to move down somewhere between, come on now, 0.006447, 0.005733. You guys, that'll be a prime time to buy pajamas. I might even buy some there because after that, and let's just put it at the high point, the 786 right here, right there basically. Okay. After that, I'm expecting a move that takes us above 6 cents, 6.5 cents essentially at the minimum. And that move in itself would be a 10x. Potentially as high as a 20x could be. So 10 to 20x would be the next move for pajamas. And that would likely come by October, man, by Halloween, if not by the end of the year. I'm definitely going to scoop more up on this next move down. But I do think it's going to, you know, on that note, for anybody who uses Solflare, or I would assume Phantom has it as well, but any wallets, have your buy orders set up down there. Have your buy orders set down in that area. Oops, sorry. Not that low, my bad. Be down in this area. Right here. At around 0.0065. But it's versus Solana's, where this is versus USD. So do the math, whatever that would make sense out of. I don't know. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's pajamas. I think it's going down, if that helps. Percentage-wise, what is it? Probably 22%. And assuming Solana doesn't drop as much, then you would have that same, because whenever, the reason I'm saying in Solana is because if you're putting limit orders on this on an app like Solflare, for example, you can only do it in the terms of Solana. So this price won't be relevant for that. That's the only reason I'm going off that. I hope that didn't throw too many people off. Anyways, Theta, Madeira SVK, he wants to know the all-time highs for Theta. And I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let me get this here. Let's try some things. Okay. Let's see. CoinGecko, Theta Network, yes. $1.122 billion in market cap. So, I mean, we can just do that in our head, right? A 100x, in my opinion, for this thing is probably not likely. Probably. Right? I mean, if we look at this thing for its entire existence, how long has it existed? Since January 2018? Okay, maybe. Maybe it could do a 100x. I don't know. If you've been around, this is your second bull market. You've been through basically 2 full bear markets. You could see a $100 billion market cap. I'll give it to you, but that'd be like the limits, right? 100x from here would be like the limits of what I could see. And let's just see if there's any expected price targets up around there. So from a high to a low, all-time high to the current cycle low there, and then from the current price to the minimum target expectation, that would give you about a, if you were to see new all-time highs, this is, right? And we don't know that you're going to see new all-time highs until you break above like 1132. Really 460 is when it's exciting, 1132 is when it's validating, and then when you're up here, you're celebrating. So 41, 44, essentially. That'd be about a 36, 37x. Definitely achievable. Definitely achievable at $66. And then for your 1618, I would say that is achievable. Yes, no, I genuinely mean it. You're looking at that number correctly, $132.50. You're at $1.12 now. Yes, I believe Theta could achieve that. But I don't know if I would bet on it achieving that. You know, I would think that these numbers here, $40 to $66, are definitely better probabilities. And I don't know if it sees new all-time highs, but I'll tell you what, a chart that's got it's gone through a bear cycle like this. This is its first bear cycle. And then it goes through its bull cycle, has phenomenal growth, and then it only pulls a higher low on its next bear cycle. That's a vote of confidence, at least in my opinion, right? The fact that you didn't give it all away throughout I don't know. It doesn't strike fear into me, at least, right? Gives me a little bit of hope that this thing could see new all-time highs. But it's not respecting any of these fibs, so I'm useless with this thing. Anyways, guys, actually, on that note, I wonder. Yeah, you respected that pretty well, actually. Wow, you've been respecting this one even now. And there's targets up there, man. Hard to say. I do believe that you're going higher, though, for the long term. Those would be your all-time high targets. But again, that all really does depend on if you can break above, from a very technical perspective on the fibs, like the way that these ratios work, you need to break above $11.30, essentially. Until then, these are only possibilities, guesses, hopes, and dreams, right? You break above that, though, probabilities, likelihoods, bank on it. You know it's probably going to happen. And I say bank on it, but there's like a good 10 to 20% of the time that it doesn't happen. But likely I would think that this does. Anyways, enough time on theta there. Start talking about the all-time highs, and I get caught up in it. ILV is another one that you want me to do all-time highs on as well. So let's do that. Let's have some fun. ILV, alluvium, dumped, right? This is what they call, if let's see, yes, a rug pull. That's the formal definition of it. No, that's, I mean, over months, to be completely fair. Might not be a rug pull as much as some of the ones in crypto that are like over days. But damn, man, you dumped a lot. You dumped a lot, alluvium. I don't know if I would count on the idea that you return to new all-time highs. I don't know what happened to this thing. It could return to new all-time highs, but I just wouldn't count on it. Weekly RSI sucks. Monthly's not giving us anything. Daily RSI sucks worse than the weekly RSI. I'm not completely convinced that you're done going down lower, man. It almost looks good, but it doesn't. It almost looks like a broadening bottom, but it isn't. It isn't. Because this was flat, right? It's like really what you had was you had a fake out of a horizontal channel. I don't know. Maybe not a horizontal channel. I don't know what to make out of it, man. Like I said, it almost looked good with the broadening bottom kind of idea, but it's not that. I don't like the weekly RSI. I'm going to guess that you go lower. I'm comfortable with the idea that this is your low. However, I do think you go lower than this current weekly close here. So looking at it from a daily perspective, which agrees with that kind of consensus, if we're looking at this from a low to a high point, you've hit your 1618, 1886 area. You're at your 1272 area, moving down now. Probably going to go back to that $38.4 to $42 area. You're at $43.3 now. I'm in favor of this more than I am of this, but you could hold any of those levels or anywhere in between. Absolutely, you could go below it. You could even go lower than this low, although I don't think that's what's going to happen. I really am in favor of holding this orange line at 38.4 cents. However, if you don't hold that line, it's not all over. It might already be all over. You know, I don't know what would really make me think this thing's all over. If you get like multiple weeks closing below the lowest weekly here, which is below your 1618, then I'd be concerned for this thing. But until then, just a little bit of downside is what I'm thinking. And then a return back to the top of this pattern, and we'll go from there if you're breaking out or not. I don't see this thing getting above $1,000 again. I don't really see it getting above like 800, even like 750. Maybe it doesn't even get above 600. It's hard to say, but that's that. And if I'm wrong, cool. But you got to start doing things soon. You can't be casting new all-time lows. Okay. You can't suffer through a whole bear market and then start casting new all-time. Is it new all-time lows? Technically not new all-time lows, but you can't be doing this. Is all I'm trying to say. You just can't be. Anyways, Andy USDT on MEXC, sure. Is this, you said Andy ETH, right? That's what you wanted. Andy ETH. I think this is the one that he wanted. I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know if I can do that, so we're going to do this. It's this Andy, I'm pretty sure. This is the Andy. Yep, we've done it already. Oh, Andy. Oh, Andy, you suck. You look like you want to go down. Oh, yep. Yep. Andy wants to go down on us, you guys. Absolutely. I think so. Time will tell. There's hope. I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of hope, actually. Relative strength index. I want to see this. Is that hope going to be stricken? It's going to be stricken. Yeah, the hope's gone. Hope's gone. Bye-bye, hope. Yeah, no, you're going down. You're going lower. So probably, most likely, I would think, 1272 at a minimum should be at 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 5, 9, 2, 9, somewhere around there. If not lower. You might go lower than this. This might not be your low. And we won't know until we find your next low, which, well, it's either going to be a higher low or a lower low. So we don't know until we go. My bet with the overall state of the crypto market and this bounce right off the oversold zone like this, my bet would be that you do find a higher low. But let's just see. Being that you found support at the 1414, you do have the opportunity to form a double bottom too, which is less likely, but it happens. My thoughts are you either hold this area or you're going down to this area or lower. So 4 zeros, 5, 9, 2, 9 or bust. That's my best thoughts on Andy. Let's talk next about Wolf. You said Wolf was on like some like 0x something, right? Unfortunately, though, I'm not seeing it. Let me look it up. Let me see what you wrote real quick. Hold on. Bear with me all, okay? Having a little fun tonight. Might take me a second. We're almost there. Not that one. Not that one. 0x67. Land Wolf. I'm just going to tell you right now, Brian T. James or Bryant James, I don't know how to help you out with this one, man. I'm trying. You can see I'm trying, right? Land Wolf here, right? Tell you what, if this is the one you want, it shouldn't be because it's on Poloniex. You don't want this. So we're just going to go with Wolf here, and we're going to go with the one that has the highest market cap and volume to know that it's probably, if it's, that it would make sense that it's the only valid one, right? Because all the ones that are below it are below it for a reason. They're not valid. At least that's just my prognosis on it. Man, you guys should see. You should see this charger that I have for my phone. It's dying. It's bad, man. Rolled over at one time with a hotel chair. Literally just once, and it just fell apart. It's such a good cord. It's so durable. I feel like I've done so much with it, and it just very easily crapped out. People are racing out there. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Probably can. Log on Wolf. high to low, double bottom. We're not going to count it. I mean, it's there. It's the technical low, but we're going to measure it like this because this is your move, high to low. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're going lower. I think you would have already if you were going lower. You might be going lower than your current price, sure. A little bit lower, yeah. I think you're going a little bit lower. If not, you're literally at the bottom now. A little bit lower. 006236, you're at 006925. 006236 to 0.005937, somewhere in that zone. And then up. A little bit lower, then up. That's it. Yeah, that's my genuine opinion. For Wolf. ZKML for Marcos Izquierdo. Man, Marcos is a crack addict with this thing, man. He needs his daily fixins of ZKMLs. Damn, bro. Just can't catch a break, right? It's moving up, it's not moving up. It's moving up, but it's moving down. Now it's looking like it's really moving up, now it's moving down. Daily RSI does look bad now. What was so full of hope and prosperity. I like your fib though. I really do like your fib a lot. So there's let's move back to the idea of hope then. If you move down a little bit more and close at this 382, you'll probably be right at this 40 area on your RSI, on your daily RSI. And that would look really good. And that would look really good. So a little bit of downside and then maybe a whole lot of upside that we've been waiting for weeks now, right? It would make sense that you go down more. Expect some downside around 15.3 to 16 cents, probably closer to that 15.3 cent area. And if I'm wrong and you go lower, well, maybe 9 cents is where you're going, but still inevitably up, you know. The only difference between this or this is just the amount of time that it takes to move up. But we'll hope for the first one, right? We'll hope that it does that. Anyways, ZKML down a little bit and then up. We've got an interesting one now. Zcash versus BTC. And yeah, we'll do ZBTC. We'll do it like this. Okay, smooth. I see what you're getting at, man. Right, it does look like it's breaking out. Yeah, I see. I get it. Just like Bitcoin Cash, man. A chart that anybody and everybody could laugh at if they're just holding Bitcoin, right? This is sad. It's very sad. Oh my, it just gets sadder. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? You are, if you close here, for your first time ever in existence, going to be out of your oversold zone on the monthly, which is crazy. Weekly, and I mean it's not crazy if you've looked at the Zcash USD chart. Weekly, you look on fire. You look great. Volume's fine, whatever. This move doesn't look like it wants to stop here. Just having a hard time where to gauge from. I'm going to go on the weekly again, and I think this might be the high to gauge from. That might be it. And no matter how I draw it, you have higher to go. And I think you do have higher to go. No matter how. So this is good. Right? Clearly it implies that Zcash will either drop less than Bitcoin if Bitcoin moves down, or it'll, what's even better than that is go up more than Bitcoin if Bitcoin's moving up. I mean, you got a minimum of like a 36% growth, potentially 184 or more, man. I don't even know. Right? Is that too premature to say? Because anytime you've done stuff like this, it doesn't persist. You just move sideways. You cease the bleeding for a period. You don't actually grow, you know. But to be fair, just gauging it with the naked eye too, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's not fair. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe you do that exact thing. Maybe you move up here and then reject. That's it. But I would think you go above this, and that's not really a good trend line to go off of anyways. I'm going to draw the fib on there one more time. I like your 618 right there. I like that. And that's that 100 and something percent, 180% growth, right? Yeah, like 180, 190% growth versus Bitcoin. That's your 618 right there. Previous areas of support from the last cycle. Testing it as current resistance. That makes sense to me. Golden ratio. Your daily RSI looks awesome. Your weekly RSI looks awesome. And your monthly is the most awesome it's ever been technically. So, yeah, it's moving up. I think it's just getting started. I think it is. That might be the winner there, Smooth, just because of it moving up against Bitcoin. That's a pretty big... I doubt any of these charts look like that versus Bitcoin right now. PEPE 2.0. PEPE 2.00. He's yellow. Is this the one that we want, though? I think it's the only one, the only option we have. So high, low to high here. Around your 618 area, second attempt. I like it. I think it's fine. Yeah. I think it's fine. You know, this is such a new chart. Don't hold me to this, but maybe you do go a little bit lower. Maybe you form some kind of relative double bottom with a slightly lower low, and then boom, then you move up. Or maybe you go a lot lower and then you move up. But that lot lower would just be the difference of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, 2, 3, 8 to 7 zeros, 1, 7, 8. So a little bit of a difference there, but yeah, those are the target areas. I do think it's moving down. Feel somewhat confident in that. Yes, yeah, I think it's moving lower first and then up. I don't think you're going to break these lows. If you do, barely, right? I don't think you're going down here. You could, but I don't think you are. I think you would have already, but down and then up is my best guess for Pepe. AERO for Chris Cohen. AERO's chilling, right? Weekly basis here from a low point to a high point. Low here to the high. At your 382 area. Double bottom-ish. Bounced off your 0.5 actually right there. Literally tipped it. And now you're holding your 382 area. Tipping your oversold zone. You're in this downtrend in your daily RSI, which isn't a good look in itself. That would, to me, suggest you go lower. And I think you do. I think you'll go, this reminds me of some of the charts we were talking about earlier. I think you'll go below here, but not below here. So below 61 cents, but not below 46 cents, right? $0.58 to 54 cents sounds nice to me. Golden ratio zone. And I'm going to call for that 58 to 54 cents. That's where you're going. Lower. And then up. But lower first. Yeah. You're probably going to consolidate. I don't know. Call it a theory, but maybe you're in some kind of like symmetrical triangle. And you consolidate until like the later parts of this year and then you break out. I don't know. Just thought. Used car. Of course it's not. What is it? It's a Honda, right? A gently used 2001 Honda Civic. That's so nice. A gently. I like how they phrase that too. A gently used. That's funny. Not a lot of volume though for this high market cap Honda Civic. Well, looks like we were projecting uppers the last time we talked about this, and it has gone downers. Bleeding, just slowly bleeding into oblivion. So stay away from it. I would just not touch it. It had its run, and now it's dying. Right? It had its run, but now it's dying. I think this is what they call dead. Your market cap's 1.1 million, and you're pulling in an average volume of 35,000. That's not enough, man. That's not enough. That's not good. That's not good volume. Liquidity, okay, cool. That's nice. That's nice and all, but why? I just had you, damn. Sure, you probably move up soon. You might move lower, man, actually. Let me see, low to high. You are. I do believe you're moving lower. You're at 0.003398. I think you're going down to 0.002234 or lower. That right there, not a good look. Not. Lower. No problem admitting that. Yeah, lower. Weak. Weak, weak. I don't even need to look at anything else, man. Weak. Going down. Sorry, but not sorry, right? There's no volume. Nobody wants to buy here. Why would they? Maybe down here. Maybe down at these wicking lows, right? Which, let's see, right? Because we took this low to this high. If we're going where I think we're going, right down there, man. It makes sense. 0.002234. That's what I think. Down, down. ADA. Last, but not least. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Used car might be the least used. It's gently used. ADA. Getting a lot of hate on it recently. A lot of hate. A lot of people are hating on it hardcore, saying that it's dead. You know, perfect time normally to invest is whenever you hear things like that, especially on a prominent crypto like this. I was just looking to find the one that had the most historical data, but it looks like this is it. So from a low point to a high point here. And I love how much credit ADA got last cycle, man. It moved up. I mean, I'm not laughing at that. I'm sorry if that sounded like a laugh. But a 19x, and people were losing their minds on this thing. Is that 190x? 10x? No, that'd be a 19x. Is this right? 1 times 10 would then be 17 times 20. That doesn't make any sense. Times 10 would be 7. How does that make any sense? You're at 1.7 cents all the way up at $3.06. How am I drawing a blank here? Is this 100x? Wouldn't this be 100x? Oh, it would be. See, I'm not looking at the decimals right. Okay, okay, this makes sense. Man, I drew such a blank there. That's 183x. My bad, you guys. Now I get why ADA had so much craziness around it last cycle. Wow. I'm like, that didn't make sense. Like this, the numbers I had dyscalculia. It's like dyslexia, but with the numbers. But the math didn't check out. That's what said. I'm like, wait, 1.7 cents up to here. I'm like, that's already over 100x. Like, anyways, enough of the who cares what. From a low point here to a high point, you've held your 0.5, looking kind of productive, kind of constructive. I don't know what to make out of the monthly RSI, so let's look at the weekly. Weekly RSI looks sad, but not bad. Sad, but not bad, right? Limp, but not dead. Still got some life in it. Low to high here. Yeah, I would expect that if you haven't found a bottom, you're probably going to find it in this zone, 786 to 886 zone. If you have found a bottom, then what you're probably going to do is find a higher low, but move down nonetheless from here. I do like the idea of ADA going into the 786, 886 zone again, but it could hold the 786 right there at about 30 cents, 29 cents, sorry. If not, it's going to go down to its 886 at about 25.6 cents. So somewhere in that zone, yes, I think ADA's going lower. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. Unless you hold the line right here, right now, and you start moving up, but you have to hold it right here, right now, and I just don't know if you do. But time will tell. So anyways, guys, that's all I got. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Who's the winner? I don't know. A lot of them look like they want to move down. What was that MOG one? No, it'll move down too. I don't know, man. The one that'll move up in the shortest amount of time, I really couldn't tell you. I don't remember. So no winner tonight, unfortunately. You're all winners. So we'll see you on the next one. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see another one. Take care. Bye-bye.